أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألف لام ميم
Alif, Lam, Mim.
تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم.
These are verses of the wise book.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم. These are the ayat or the revelations of a book which is wise, full of wisdom.
هدى ورحمة للمحسنين.
As guidance and mercy for the doers of good.
هدى ورحمة للمحسنين. It is a guidance, and not only a guidance but a mercy, but for those who attain to the level of excellence about their religion. In Surah Al-Baqarah it is muttaqeen. That's the starting point. Hudan lil muttaqeen. It is a guidance for muttaqeen. But now it is muhsineen, those who have attained excellence in this deed. For them it is rahmah.
الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم بالآخرة هم يوقنون.
Who establish prayer and give zakah, and they of the hereafter are certain in faith.
الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. Who establish the prayers and they pay the zakah and they are absolutely convinced of hereafter. Here actually the word yaqeen is used. Yuqinun. They are fully convinced that another life we shall have and we shall be resurrected from the dead, and then the life of the akhirah, that is the real life. As we read in Surah Al-Ankabut, وَإِنَّ دَارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. Actually, the house of akhirah is the real life, only if they had known.
أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون.
Those are on right guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are the successful.
أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. These words are exactly the same as we find in Surah Al-Baqarah. They are the people who are on guidance from their Lord, and they are those who will attain salvation and prosperity and success.
ومن الناس من يشتري لهو الحديث ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ويتخذها هزوا أولئك لهم عذاب مهين.
And of the people is he who buys the amusement of speech to mislead others from the way of Allah without knowledge, and who takes it in ridicule. Those will have a humiliating punishment.
وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ. And from people there are some who go and buy frivolous discourses. I will explain it, what it means. لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. So that he leads astray people from the way of Allah, from the path of Allah without knowledge. وَيَتَّخِذَهَا هُزُوًا. And they take this, that is Quran, the ayat which are being revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in a mockery. أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Those are the people for whom there is going to be humiliating chastisement. Now this has been the practice of the evildoers in all times. keep the common people busy in such things that they don't listen to something which is serious. They don't have a time to ponder over serious things. Keep them busy. Either, in playing, singing. So there was a person, Nadr ibn Haris, who was amongst the very staunch enemies of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he saw that the people of Quraysh at Makkah, they are attracted by Quran. They go to listen Quran from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To distract them from that, he brought a singing girl from Persia. And the stories of ancient Persian history. And he said, read these things. Don't pay attention to what Muhammad is saying. These stories are much better than what Muhammad is relating. And go and listen to this singing girl. You will enjoy. Why do you go and listen to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And in this our present age and civilization, these games, they have been designed by Satan to keep people busy. Either you work hard for earning, or you are just enjoying life and busy in the external world. You never have an opportunity to peep down your own hearts, to search your own souls, to think about who we are, where we are heading, what is going to be the end, what is happening, why it is happening. Are we having humiliation in this world? If it is so, why? What are the reasons? Never think about it. We eat and drink and be merry, or if you have some spare time, well, keep attached to the television or watching the baseball game and so forth and so forth. So these are the tactics of those people who want that the message of Allah should not spread among the masses.
وإذا تتلى عليه آياتنا ولى مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه وقرا فبشره بعذاب أليم.
And when our verses are recited to him, he turns away arrogantly as if he had not heard them, as if there was in his ears deafness. So give him tidings of a painful punishment.
وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا, and when our ayat are recited to him, وَلَّى مُسْتَكْبِرًا, he turns away in arrogance. كَأَن لَّمْ يَسْمَعْهَا, as if he had not even listened to them. كَأَنَّ فِي أُذُنَيْهِ وَقْرًا, as if there is some heaviness in his head, in his ears. فَبَشِّرْهُ بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. So, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, give him the glad tidings of a painful chastisement. Now this is a taunting attitude. Glad tidings, not warning. But for them the glad tidings are those of painful chastisement.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم.
Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, for them are the gardens of pleasure.
إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم. As for those who come to believe and do good deeds, for them there will be the gardens of bliss.
خالدين فيها وعد الله حقا وهو العزيز الحكيم.
Wherein they abide eternally. It is the promise of Allah which is truth, and He is the exalted in might, the wise.
خالدين فيها, they will abide there forever. وعدا عليه حقا, this is a promise true on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وهو العزيز الحكيم, and He is almighty and all wise.
خلق السماوات بغير عمد ترونها وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وبث فيها من كل دابة وأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم.
He created the heavens without pillars that you see, and has cast into the earth firmly set mountains, lest it should shift with you, and dispersed therein from every creature. And we sent down rain from the sky, and made grow therein plants of every noble kind.
He has created the heavens without any pillars that might be visible to you. And he has fixed mountains on the earth, so that it should not shake with you. And he has scattered and spread in this earth all types of animals. And we sent down water from heaven. And then we caused to grow therein of every noble kind of growth.
هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه بل الظالمون في ضلال مبين.
This is the creation of Allah. So show me what those other than Him have created. Rather, the wrongdoers are in clear error.
هذا خلق الله. This is all creation of Allah. فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه. Now let me see what those other gods have created, whom you think that they are also associated with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بل الظالمون في ضلال بعيد. Nay, these evildoers are in a very clear error.
ولقد آتينا لقمان الحكمة أن اشكر لله ومن يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر فإن الله غني حميد.
And we had certainly given Luqman wisdom and said, be grateful to Allah, and whoever is grateful for the benefit of himself, and whoever denies His favor, then indeed Allah is free of need and praiseworthy.
وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ. This second section, it mentions Hazrat Luqman. Who was he? Two things are clear. He was neither a prophet of Allah, nor he was from the ummah of any prophet or messenger. He was a simple person. As you know, the traditions go, he belonged to Nubia. Nubia is a place, desert, between border of Sudan and Egypt, somewhere in between the two. He belonged to this Nubia place, and he was dark-colored, Abyssinian type of people. And he lived in Makkah, and he was a carpenter by profession. But he was a wise man. Now, what is wisdom actually? It is composed of two things, because this section is included in our selected course of study of Quran. It's lesson number 3. So this is very important, because the basis of Quranic philosophy, those articles are contained in this section of this surah. What is hikmah? وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. And we had granted wisdom to Luqman, that be thankful to Allah. وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ. And whosoever is grateful and thankful to Allah, he does it for his own gains. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. And whosoever is ungrateful, Allah is self-sufficient. He doesn't need any thankfulness or some reward from any person. And he is praiseworthy. Now, two things we have to keep. One is the nature in us. And what is that nature? Actually, it's the ruh that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has grown unto us. This nature, this ruh, it has the dormant consciousness of Allah. and love of Allah. It is there, ingrained in this nature of human beings, because every human being has a ruh in him. But then there is another thing, and that's the faculty of reasoning, which we call aql, the intellect. Now, if the two conditions are fulfilled, a person's nature is safe, sound, healthy, not perverted, and his intellect is also working in the correct direction, then he will think over, who am I, what is this universe? Has it been created by itself or someone has created? If someone has created, who is he? What are his attributes? How can I love him? How can I worship him? And what is going to be the end of my life? I eat, drink, live, and then die, that's all? Or there is going to be some result of what I am doing here? If I do something good, shall I get any reward anywhere? If I do something wrong, am I going to be punished somewhere else? Now, these are the basic questions. Basic questions of philosophy, of metaphysics. So if a person, he might not be very much learned, and he might not have a couple of PhDs with him, but if his nature is safe and sound, and his intellect works in the right direction, he will reach certain results. And what are those results? They are given here. When Luqman was dying, he transferred the result of the fruit of all his thoughtfulness over the whole of his life to his son. The sermon to his son, that has been mentioned here by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this person, Luqman, was very well known in Arabia. Just as we quote in our speeches, Allama Iqbal, he said so. He said so. In the same way, the khutaba, the orators, and the shuara, the poets of Arabia, used to quote him as a very wise person. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here giving the person to whom you accept that he was a wise man. Well, actually his position was this, that we are telling you. And this is the same, fundamentally, to which Muhammad is calling you, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. The result of hikmah is that we should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The nature, if it is correct, it is safe, it is sound, it is healthy, it demands that if somebody does any good to you, you must be thankful to him. If you are thankless, your nature is perverted. But who is the real benefactor? How do we know? This material world, the sun, the moon? No. Someone else. Someone who has created the sun and moon. So we should be thankful to him. Just as Ibrahim said, Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lillazi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifa wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. I reject the stars, the moon, the sun, and I have turned my face towards in the direction of that who has created these heavens and earth.
إذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله إن الشرك لظلم عظيم.
And mention, O Muhammad, when Luqman said to his son while he was instructing him, O my son, do not associate anything with Allah. Indeed, association with him is great injustice.
وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ, recall when Luqman said to his son, وَهُوَ يَعِظُهُ, and he was exhorting him, يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ. Now the first result of this wisdom and thankfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be not to make anyone or anything an associator with him. لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ. He is alone, he is one. He has no partner, no equal, no associate. Inna shirka la zulmun azim. Verily, associating something or someone with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a very big injustice.
ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حملته أمه حمله وهنا على وهن وفصاله في عامين أن اشكر لي ولوالديك إلي المصير.
And we have enjoined upon man care for his parents. His mother carried him, increasing her in weakness upon weakness, and his weaning is in 2 years. Be grateful to me and to your parents. To me is the final destination.
وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Now, in between the advices and sermons of Luqman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is adding, because he has said to his son, you should be thankful to Allah and you should not associate anyone with him. Now Allah is saying, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ, and we have enjoined upon human being that he should be kind to his parents. This is also, parents have a right. Your creator is Allah, but who bore you in this world is your mother, and who cared for you, for your needs when you were a child, are your parents. So you have to be thankful to me, number one. I am the creator. I have put this love and affection in the hearts of the parents for you. But then you should be thankful to your parents also. And we enjoined upon man concerning his parents. His mother bears him despite weakness upon weakness. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنًا عَلَى وَهْنٍ وَفِصَالُهُ فِي عَامَيْنِ, and his weaning is in 2 years. Now what we have said, give thanks to me, anishkur li wale walidek. Be thankful to me, grateful to me. I am the creator, and I have put this affection and love in the hearts of the parents. But now actually that affection has come to you through your parents, so you should be thankful to your parents also. Ilayya al-masir, in the end, all of you will be returning to us.
وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيَّ ثُمَّ إِلَيَّ مَرْجِعُكُمْ فَأُنَبِّئُكُم بِمَا كُنتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ.
But if they endeavor to make you associate with me that of which you have no knowledge, do not obey them, but accompany them in this world with appropriate kindness, and follow the way of those who turn back to me in repentance. Then to me will be your return, and I will inform you about what you used to do.
وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ. The same thing which we have read already in Surah Ankabut. But if the parents pressurize you, they strive against you and pressurize you that you associate with me anything or anyone about who have you no knowledge, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا, then you don't obey both of them, disobey them. وَالْمَصَاحِبُ مَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا, but even then you should keep an honorable company with them and gentle company with them in this world. وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيَّ, and you should take to the path and follow the path of that person who has turned towards me. You don't follow your parents. Be kind to them, respectful to them. This is their right. But follow if they are on the right path. Okay? This is Nurun ala Nur. If your parents are on the right path, this is Nurun ala Nur, light upon light. But if they are on the wrong path, they are not to be followed. You have to follow the one who has turned his face towards me. Summa ilayya marji'ukum, then all of you will have to return to me. فَأُنَبِّئُكُم بِمَا كُنتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ, and then I will tell you what you had been doing.
يَا بُنَيَّ إِنَّهَا إِن تَكُ مِثْقَالَ حَبَّةٍ مِّنْ خَرْدَلٍ فَتَكُن فِي صَخْرَةٍ فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأت بها الله إن الله لطيف خبير.
And Luqman said, O my son, indeed, if a wrong should be the weight of a mustard seed, and should be within a rock or anywhere in the heavens or in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Indeed, Allah is subtle and acquainted.
Ya bunayya innaha in takum misqala habbatin. Now again, the sermon of Hazrat Luqman starts. O my son, little son, innaha, if it is, what does it mean? If a good deed or a bad deed, if it is in takum misqala habbatin min khardalin, if it is of a weight of a grain of mustard seed, very small. Human deeds, they might be very small, good or bad. However small they might be, fatakun fi sakhratin, or though they may be in some rock, of a samawat, or in the heavens, of a earth, or in the earth, Allah will bring it. Ya'ti biha Allah. All deeds will be brought on the day of judgment, and you will have it. Well, we have it in the last para. Misqala zarratin khairan yara. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِسْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِسْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. If you have done even, equal to the weight of zarra, an atom, you will see it. Inna Allah latifun khabir. Verily Allah is very subtle and aware of everything.
يا بني أقم الصلاة وأمر بالمعروف وانه عن المنكر واصبر على ما أصابك إن ذلك من عزم الأمور.
O my son, establish prayer, enjoin what is right, forbid what is wrong, and be patient over what befalls you. Indeed, all that is of the matters requiring determination.
Ya bunayya, O my son, aqim as-salah, establish the prayer. When you have come to know Allah, He is the creator, He is the sustainer, now you establish a psychological relationship with Him through salah. Go on addressing Him, praying Him, 5 prayers a day. Why? So that you remember. Aqim as-salat al-zikri, we have read it in Surah Taha. Aqim as-salat al-zikri, for my remembrance. Waqim as-salat wa'amur bil ma'ruf, and enjoin upon others whatever is good. Wanha 'anil munkar, and forbid them from whatever is evil. Wasbir ala ma asabak. And then you have to bear with patience and perseverance whatever comes on you. Because when you will enjoin people to do good, maybe some people are angry with you. When you stop people from doing something bad, maybe they beat you, they come on you, they attack you. So all these things can happen. Because truth is bitter. Nobody is going to like this. So then you have to bear with forbearance and patience whatever comes to you. Inna dhalika min azmil umur. Verily, these are the matters requiring strong character. Only a person who has a strong character can do these things.
ولا تصعد خدك للناس ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور.
And do not turn your cheek in contempt toward people, and do not walk through the earth exultantly. Indeed, Allah does not like everyone self-deluded and boastful.
وَلَا تُصَعِدْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ. And don't turn your cheek away from the people haughtily. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. Don't walk on the earth in a boastful manner, haughtily. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Verily Allah doesn't love anyone who is arrogant and boastful.
اقصد في مشيك واغضض من صوتك إن أنكر الأصوات لصوت الحمير.
And be moderate in your pace and lower your voice. Indeed, the most disagreeable of sounds is the voice of donkeys.
وَاقْصِدْ فِي مَشْيِكَ, and be modest in your gait and walking. وَاغْضُضْ مِنْ صَوْتِكَ, and lower your voice. إِنَّ أَنْكَرَ الْأَصْوَاتِ لَصَوْتُ الْحَمِيرِ. Definitely, the most unpleasant voice is the braying of the donkeys.
ألم تروا أن الله سخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وأسبغ عليكم نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير.
Do you not see that Allah has made subject to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, and amply bestowed upon you His favors, both apparent and unapparent? But of the people is he who disputes about Allah without knowledge or guidance or an enlightening book from Him.
أَلَمْ تَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ سَخَّرَ لَكُم مَّا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Don't you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has subjected to you and to your service whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. وَأَسْبَغَ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعَمَهُ ظَاهِرَةً وَبَاطِنَةً. And He has perfected upon you His blessings, whether they are visible or invisible. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And there are people who argue about Allah and fight about Allah and argue against Allah, although they have no knowledge, wala hudan, no guidance, wala kitabin munir, nor any book which is bright and illuminating.
وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ اتَّبِعُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا أَوَلَوْ كَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ يَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَى عَذَابِ السَّعِيرِ.
And when it is said to them, follow what Allah has revealed, they say, rather, we will follow that upon which we found our fathers. Even if Satan was inviting them to the punishment of the blaze.
وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ اتَّبِعُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. And when you said to them, we should follow what Allah has sent down. قَالُوا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا. They said, no, we shall follow on what we have found our forefathers. But what their practice, we shall continue. أَوَلَوْ كَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ يَدْعُوهُمْ إِلَى عَذَابِ السَّعِيرِ. What? Will they keep on following their forefathers? Although it is possible, it might be, that the Satan had been calling them to the chastisement of the blazing fire.
وَمَن يُسْلِمْ وَجْهَهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ فَقَدِ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى وَإِلَى اللَّهِ عَاقِبَةُ الْأُمُورِ.
And whoever submits his face to Allah while he is a doer of good, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handhold. And to Allah will be the outcome of all matters.
وَمَن يُسْلِمْ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ. And whosoever surrenders and submits his will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he has attained excellence, فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى. So now he has his hand on the firm handhold. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ عَاقِبَةُ الْأُمُورِ. And definitely the end of all the affairs is with Allah. He will decide.
وَمَن كَفَرَ فَلَا يَحْزُنكَ كُفْرُهُ إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ فَنُنَبِّئُهُم بِمَا عَمِلُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ.
And whoever has disbelieved, let not his disbelief grieve you. To us is their return, and we will inform them of what they did. Indeed, Allah is knowing of that within the breasts.
وَمَنْ كَفَرَ فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ كُفْرُهُ. Whosoever disbelieves, so, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't grieve over it. إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ. They have to come to us. فَنُنَبِّئُهُمْ بِمَا عَمِلُوا. We shall tell them what they had been doing, and we shall recompense them. We shall reward them. We shall punish them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Verily Allah knows what is in the chests of the people.
نمتعهم قليلا ثم نضطرهم إلى عذاب غليظ.
We grant them enjoyment for a little, then we will force them to a massive punishment.
نُمَتِّعُهُمْ قَلِيلًا. We are providing them for this life. But what is this life? A few days, few years, that's all. نُمَتِّعُهُمْ قَلِيلًا ثُمَّ نَضْطَرُّهُمْ إِلَى عَذَابِ الْغَلِيظِ. And then we shall harshly, and we shall drive them, push them towards the harsh chastisement.
لئن سألتهم من خلق السماوات والأرض ليقولن الله قل الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون.
And if you asked them, who created the heavens and earth, they would surely say, Allah. Say, all praise is due to Allah, but most of them do not know.
وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. And if you ask them, who has created the heavens and the earth, they will surely say, Allah. قُلِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Say, then praise, all praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but most of them don't know.
لله ما في السماوات والأرض إن الله هو الغني الحميد.
To Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and earth. Indeed, Allah is the free of need, the praiseworthy.
لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. To Allah belongs whatever is there in the heavens and the earth. إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْغَنِيُّ الْحَمِيدُ. Allah is free from all needs. He is absolutely self-sufficient. And He is the praiseworthy.
ولو أن ما في الأرض من شجرة أقلام والبحر يمده من بعده 7 أبحر ما نفدت كلمات الله إن الله عزيز حكيم.
And if whatever trees upon the earth were pens, and the sea was ink, replenished thereafter by 7 more seas, the words of Allah would not be exhausted. Indeed, Allah is exalted in might and wise.
Now this subject has already come first in Surah Kahf. وَلَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ مِدَادًا لِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّي لَنَفِدَ الْبَحْرُ قَبْلَ أَن تَنْفَدَ كَلِمَاتُ رَبِّي وَلَوْ جِئْنَا بِمِثْلِهِ مَدَدًا. This ayah in the end of Surah Al-Kahf. This subject is being repeated here. وَلَوْ أَنَّ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ أَقْلَامٌ. And if all the trees on this earth become pens, وَالْبَحْرُ يَمُدُّهُ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ 7 أَبْحُرٍ. And the ocean, and to it are added 7 more oceans, and they work as ink. Ma nafidat kalimatu Allah. The words of Allah will not be exhausted. And I had explained at that time, what does it mean? Every creation of Allah is the result of His word, kun. So all the creations, they are words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When He decides something to create something, it says kun, and it becomes. So these are the words of Allah. So by these words of Allah, it is meant here is the creations of Allah. You can't count them, you can't write them. Impossible.
ما خلقكم ولا بعثكم إلا كنفس واحدة إن الله سميع بصير.
Your creation and your resurrection will not be but as that of a single soul. Indeed, Allah is hearing and seeing.
ما خلقكم ولا بعثكم إلا كنفس واحدة. Your creation of all of you and your resurrection of all of you is nothing but like the creation and resurrection of a single soul. It's so easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can create you and recreate you. And it is for him as easy as creating one human soul. Inna Allah Samiyun Basir, verily Allah is all listening and all seeing.
ألم تر أن الله يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري إلى أجل مسمى وأن الله بما تعملون خبير.
Do you not see that Allah causes the night to enter the day and causes the day to enter the night and has subjected the sun and the moon, each running its course for a specified term, and that Allah, with whatever you do, is acquainted.
Alam tara anna Allah yuliju al-layla fi an-nahar. Don't you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala merges the night into the day? Wa yuliju an-nahara fi al-layl. And sometimes He is merging the day into night. Wa sakhara ash-shamsa wal-qamar. And He has subjected the sun and the moon for your service. Kullun yajri ila ajalin musamma. Every one of these is running its course for an appointed period of time. Wa anna Allah bima ta'maluna khabir. And that whatever you are doing, Allah very well knows it.
ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأن ما يدعون من دونه الباطل وأن الله هو العلي الكبير.
That is because Allah is the truth, and that what they call upon other than Him is falsehood, and because Allah is the Most High, the Grand.
ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْحَقُّ. And this is because Allah is the truth, the whole truth. He is the truth. هُوَ الْحَقُّ وَأَنَّ مَا يَدُونَ مِن دُونِهِ الْبَاطِلِ. And whomsoever they are calling besides Him, they are just falsehood and nothing else. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْكَبِيرُ. And that Allah is the one who is great. أن الله هو العلي الكبير, high and great.
ألم تر أن الفلك تجري في البحر بنعمة الله ليريكم من آياته إن في ذلك لآيات لكل صبار شكور.
Do you not see that ships sail through the sea by the favor of Allah, that He may show you of His signs? Indeed, in that are signs for everyone patient and grateful.
أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ الْفُلْكَ تَجْرِي فِي الْبَحْرِ بِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ. Don't you see that the boats and ships, they sail in the sea or in the rivers بِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ, with the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لِيُرِيكُم مِّنْ آيَاتِهِ, so that He shows you some of His signs. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِكُلِّ صَبَّارٍ شَكُورٍ. Verily in this are signs for those who are persevering and grateful ones.
وَإِذَا غَشِيَهُم مَّوْجٌ كَالظُّلَلِ دَعَوُا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ فَمِنْهُم مقتصد وما يجحد بآياتنا إلا كل ختار كفور.
And when waves come over them like canopies, they supplicate Allah, sincere to Him in religion. But when He delivers them to the land, there are some of them who are moderate in faith. And none rejects our signs, except everyone treacherous and ungrateful.
وَإِذَا غَشِيَهُمْ مَوْجٌ كَالظُّلَلِ. But when they are in sea or ocean, and when a wave covers them like clouds, it's a very high wave is coming, just as the clouds, دَعَوُا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. At that time, they call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, promising Him their total obedience. مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُمُ الدِّينَ. We shall obey you, O Allah, and none else. Please deliver us from this affliction which is coming. فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ. And when Allah delivers them to the land, فَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ. There are among them, they start some in between. They worship us also and others also. And they take the middle road. وَمَا يَجْهَدُ بِآيَاتِنَا إِلَّا كُلُّ خَطَّارٍ كَفُورٍ. And our ayat are not rejected except from those who are unfaithful and ungrateful.
يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم واخشوا يوما لا يجزي والد عن ولده ولا مولود هو جاز عن والده شيئا إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور.
O mankind, fear your Lord, and fear a day when no father will avail his son, nor will a son avail his father at all. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth, so let not the worldly life delude you, and be not deceived about Allah by the deceiver.
Ya ayyuhan nasu ittaqu rabbakum. O mankind, have fear of Allah, your Lord. Wakhshaw yawman. And keep fearing that day. La yajzi walidun an waladihi. When the father will be of no avail for his son. Wala mauludun huwa jazin an walidihi shay'a. Nor the son would be of any avail to his father. Inna wa'dallahi haqqun. Everyone will have to bear his own burden. Everyone will be accountable in his individual position. Kullahum atihi yawm al-qiyamati farda. We had it in the end of Surah Maryam. Inna wa'dallahi haqqun. This promise of Allah is true. This time is coming. It will come. It is to come. فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. So let not the life of this world deceive you. وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. And let not that biggest deceit, arch deceit, that is Satan, deceive you by pleading Allah is all forgiving. Now this is one of the very big, ways of deceiving of Satan. He says Allah is forgiving. Okay, go on doing what you are doing. You are eating haram, okay, go. Allah is forgiving. He will forgive you. So this forgiveness of Allah is forgiving. But Allah punishes also. He is Untiqam also. Although He is Ghafoor, but He gives you punishment also. So that is, we have to keep in between. We should keep on hoping for the forgiveness of Allah. But keep on at the same time fearing the chastisement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bain al-khawf wal-raja. We should keep our position in between. The fear, there should remain. But hope that Allah may forgive us.
Inna Allah indahu ilmu as-sa'ati wa yunazzilu al-ghaytha wa ya'lamu ma fil arham. وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم خبير.
Indeed, Allah alone has knowledge of the hour, and sends down the rain and knows what is in the wombs. And no soul perceives what it will earn tomorrow, and no soul perceives in what land it will die. Indeed, Allah is knowing and acquainted.
Inna Allah indahu ilmu as-sa'ah. Verily, it is only Allah with whom is the knowledge of that hour, when that hour as-sa'ah will come. Only He knows. وَيُنَزِّلُ الْغَيْثَ. And it is He who sends down rain. وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ. And knows what is in the wombs of the mothers. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. And nobody knows, no soul knows. مَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. What that soul is going to earn tomorrow, some good deeds or bad deeds. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. And no soul knows in which land it will die. Inna Allah alimul khabir. Verily, Allah is the all-knowing, all-aware.